No mind ever rises to great power until it joins with others in harmony. The greatest mistake most people make is believing that they can do everything alone, that their mind contains all the answers, all the wisdom, and all the strength required to reach the heights of success. The truth is far different. A single mind, no matter how brilliant, is still limited by the experiences, knowledge, and perspective of one individual. It is like a candle in a vast dark room. It shines, yes, but its light reaches only so far. When other candles are lit beside it, when their flames burn together, the darkness is pushed back, and what was once unseen becomes clear. This is the power of joining minds in harmony. When you connect with others who share your vision, your ambition, and your determination, something extraordinary begins to unfold. Ideas emerge that you would never have imagined alone. Solutions appear that your single mind would have struggled to uncover. And most importantly, energy multiplies. Alone, your spirit may falter in moments of doubt, but with others who stand firm beside you, your belief strengthens. Their faith adds to yours, and your courage adds to theirs. What was once a solitary dream transforms into a collective mission, unstoppable and undeniable. History offers countless examples of this truth. No leader, no innovator, no creator who left a mark on the world did so alone. Behind every invention stood a group of thinkers, planners, supporters, and dreamers working in unison. Behind every great movement stood men and women aligned with a single purpose, pushing together as one. Alone, one voice may be drowned in the noise of the world. Together, many voices become a chorus that cannot be ignored. But there is something deeper than simple cooperation. True harmony is not just the presence of people, it is the alignment of minds. Many groups exist, Here individuals are together in body but divided in thought. They fight, they compete, they doubt one another, and in doing so they weaken the very bond that could have been their strength. Harmony is the secret ingredient. Without it, a group is nothing more than chaos disguised as company. With it, even a small circle can move mountains. Harmony does not mean perfect agreement in every detail. It means unity in spirit and commitment to a shared goal. It means trusting each other enough to set aside ego and pride and allowing the collective wisdom to guide the way forward. No mind ever rises to great power until it learns this truth, that others are not obstacles but keys. The world tries to teach self-reliance as the highest virtue, but true growth is not isolation. It is connection. The lone wolf survives, but the pack thrives. The individual may achieve a measure of success, but the unified group leaves a legacy that endures beyond generations. Now consider the second truth. The mastermind multiplies intelligence. It never merely adds it. This is the part most people fail to grasp. The union of minds is not simple arithmetic. It is not 1 + 1 = 2. It is exponential. When two people unite their thoughts in perfect harmony, a third force is born, invisible yet undeniably real. This third force is a new intelligence, greater than either mind alone. It is the combined imagination, knowledge, and spirit that exist only in their union. Imagine two rivers meeting. Each river flows with its own strength, carrying its own current. Alone, each river can carve valleys and nourish fields. But when they merge, the waters grow deeper, faster, and more powerful, capable of reshaping entire landscapes. This is what happens when minds join in true harmony. The flow of ideas surges, and the direction of destiny changes. Think of how breakthroughs happen in the worst. So rarely do they come from a single isolated thinker locked away in silence. Instead, they come from discussion, from collaboration, from debate, and the collision of ideas. Success demands alliance, not isolation. Many people dream of achieving greatness, but they fall into the trap of believing that they must walk the path alone. They think that to prove their strength, they must carry every burden by themselves, fight every battle in solitude, and resist leaning on anyone else. This mindset seems noble, but in truth it becomes a prison. Isolation shrinks the possibilities of a human being. It closes doors that could have been opened by partnership, blinds the eyes to perspectives that could have illuminated the way, and weakens the will when storms grow too heavy. Alliance, on the other hand, is the foundation of lasting success. Every great achievement in history was built not by one hand, but by many. Every empire, invention, and movement was fueled by cooperation, trust, and shared purpose. A single brick does not make a wall. It takes many, stacked with precision, bound by mortar, and aligned in strength. In the same way, one person's talent, no matter how great, is still limited until it is bound together with the talents of others in harmony. There is also a hidden truth. Isolation breeds vulnerability. Alone, your weaknesses are exposed with no one to guard them. Alone, your doubts echo louder because there is no voice to silence them. Alone, your failures weigh heavier because no one shares the load. But when you form alliances, something shifts. Your weaknesses are covered by another's strengths. Your doubts are challenged by another's belief. Your failures are absorbed into a collective resilience that refuses to stop moving forward. Alliance transforms fragility into power. Yet alliance is not about merely surrounding yourself with people. It is about choosing the right people, the ones who share your vision, who fuel your energy, and who walk with you, not against you. Many individuals confuse alliance with company, the shishishas. I surround themselves with those who take, who doubt, who pull them away from their purpose. That is not alliance. That is sabotage. True alliance is intentional. It is built with people who align with your mission, who bring their own fire to the table, and who understand that the goal is greater than any one person's ego. When you build such alliances, success is no longer a lonely road. It becomes a journey of shared victories, shared lessons, and shared destiny. The highest peaks are not conquered by solitary climbers. They are reached by teams who rope themselves together, each protecting the other, each depending on the other to reach the summit. Success, too, demands such alliance. And then we come to the deeper secret. Two minds in agreement create a third invisible force of genius. This is where the magic of alliance truly reveals itself. When two people align in thought, in vision, and in spirit, something greater than both is born. Their union creates a force that neither could summon alone. It is not a simple merging of ideas. It is the creation of a new intelligence, a higher level of clarity, a deeper well of inspiration. Picture this. One mind holds a spark, another mind holds a fragment, and when those sparks collide in harmony, they ignite into a flame that lights an entirely new path. This invisible force is more than conversation. It is creation. It is as if the universe itself leans closer to listen, to contribute, to expand the vision that has been born from unity. You have felt this before, perhaps without naming it. A discussion where ideas flow effortlessly, where inspiration grows beyond what either person imagined. A meeting where creativity seems to come from the air itself, where solutions appear as if gifted by an unseen hand. That is the invisible force of genius created by two minds in agreement. It is a third mind, unseen but undeniable. Born from harmony. This force is the reason why some partnerships change the world. Think of the innovators who worked in pairs, the leaders who shared visions, the creators who fueled one another's fire. Alone, they were talented. Together, they touched something higher, something beyond themselves. They tapped into the power of unity, where 1 + 1 no longer equals 2, but something infinitely greater. Yet there is a vital condition. The two minds must be in agreement. If there is distrust, envy, or conflict, the invisible force cannot exist. Discord destroys creation. Only harmony creates power. Agreement does not mean identical thinking. It means shared purpose. It means each mind bringing its own strength but aiming toward the same goal. It means setting aside ego to allow the greater force to emerge. This is the essence of genius, not the lone thinker, but the union of minds that generate something beyond their individual capacity. Every person who seeks greatness must understand this. Your breakthrough may not come from your thoughts alone, but from the spark that ignites when your mind joins with another in true harmony. So if you desire to rise higher, seek alliance, not isolation. Surround yourself with minds that align with your vision, and never underestimate the invisible force that emerges when harmony is achieved. One mind can dream, but two in agreement can summon genius, and that genius has the power to move the world. Your circle determines the ceiling of your achievement. No matter how strong, intelligent, or ambitious you are, the people you choose to keep around you will either elevate you or limit you. Every dream has a weight, and the people in your circle either help you lift it or push it down heavier upon your shoulders. If you surround yourself with doubters, with people who laugh at ambition, with voices that constantly whisper fear and hesitation, then you're Obas. On fire will slowly dim. Their limits will become your limits. Their ceiling will become your ceiling. But when you choose differently, when you build a circle of believers, dreamers, and doers, you set yourself on a different path. Their energy pushes you higher. Their vision broadens your own. Their courage strengthens your resolve. They challenge you to think bigger. They refuse to let you settle, and they remind you that your potential is far greater than your fears. Your circle becomes a mirror of what you will achieve. Look closely at the people around you, for in them you can see the outline of your future. It is not enough to simply have talent or determination. A toxic circle can poison even the strongest ambition. Many people with incredible gifts never rise because they remain in circles that suffocate their growth. They stay among those who mock big dreams, who celebrate comfort over courage, who are quick to find reasons why something cannot be done. Over time, that energy seeps into their own thinking, and they accept smallness as destiny. This is why you must guard your circle as carefully as you guard your mind. Seek those who elevate your thinking, those who are not threatened by your vision but excited by it, those who see in you what you may not yet fully see in yourself. A strong circle is not made of people who flatter you, but of those who hold you accountable, who push you beyond excuses, who refuse to let you quit when struggle arises. Think of the greatest achievements in history, and you will always find a circle behind them. Great leaders had advisors, innovators had collaborators, and visionaries had believers who stood with them. No one climbs to the top of the mountain without a rope, and that rope is the circle they tie themselves to. If your circle is strong, your climb will be supported. If your circle is weak, no matter how high you rise, you risk falling. So ask yourself, does your circle raise your ceiling or lower it? Do they encourage you to stretch higher, or do they chain you to the ground? The truth may be hard, but your future depends on your answer. Choose your circle wisely, for in it lies the ceiling of your achievement. And then comes the next truth. No empire was ever built by a solitary dreamer. It took a council of visionaries. One person can dream, but to build, to create, to establish something that lasts beyond their lifetime, it takes many. The myth of the lone genius, the solitary architect of destiny, is a half-truth. Behind every so-called lone genius, there is always a council, whether acknowledged or unseen, that help turn vision into reality. The solitary dreamer has imagination, yes, but imagination without structure, without counsel, without support, fades like smoke. To turn a dream into an empire, it must be planted in the soil of collaboration. Visionaries must gather, align, and contribute their strengths, their insights, and their energy toward a shared purpose. It is in this gathering that a dream stops being fragile and starts becoming unstoppable. Empires are not built on the shoulders of one. They are built on the backs of many who believe in the same vision. The dreamer may see the mountain, but it takes the council to build the path. The dreamer may envision the structure, but it takes the builders, the planners, the thinkers, and the doers to raise it from the ground. Alone, a dream remains an idea. Together, it becomes an empire. But not just any council will do. The strength of an empire depends on the strength of the visionaries who shape it. A council poisoned by division, by jealousy, by conflicting desires will crumble before it builds. But a council united in vision, bonded by trust, and driven by shared purpose becomes unshakable. Each visionary adds something unique, and together they create a foundation that cannot be broken. History whispers this truth in every age. The greatest movements were never one man or woman shouting into the void. They were councils of minds, each fueling the other, each carrying part of the burden, each pushing the vision forward. The solitary dreamer begins the spark, but it is the council that fans it into a flame bright enough to light the world. So if you carry a dream within you, do not make the mistake of thinking you must, or even can, do it all alone. Seek your counsel. Build your circle of visionaries. Share your dream with those who will not just hear it, but will believe in it, invest in it, and fight for it as if it were their own. That is how empires are born. The world does not remember those who dreamed and stayed silent in solitude. It remembers those who dreamed and gathered others around that dream until it became a force too strong to be ignored. The solitary dreamer may inspire, but the council of visionaries builds. And what they build, if rooted in unity and purpose, endures. The power of the mastermind lies not in numbers, but in unity of purpose. Many people assume that strength comes from gathering a crowd, from surrounding themselves with as many voices as possible, from building a large team. But numbers alone mean nothing. 10 minds moving in different directions cancel one another out. 100 people with no alignment create noise, not progress. True power comes not from the size of the group, but from its unity. When even a few minds lock together with a single burning purpose, their combined force becomes unstoppable. Consider a choir. 100 singers all shouting different notes create chaos, but a handful of voices singing in harmony can fill a cathedral with beauty that moves the soul. The same principle governs achievement, a small group with clarity and shared vision. Science can achieve more than a vast assembly filled with confusion and conflict. Unity sharpens energy while division disperses it. Unity of purpose is magnetic. When a group of people believe in the same mission with total conviction, their combined energy draws resources, opportunities, and momentum, almost as if the universe itself leans in to assist. Their unity creates a current so strong that even obstacles that would normally break the will of individuals become stepping stones toward success. Division weakens, unity multiplies. This is why wise leaders value harmony more than numbers. They do not seek to gather as many as possible. They seek to gather the right few. A tightly bonded group of aligned minds will achieve in months what a scattered multitude cannot achieve in years. The number of voices matters little. The alignment of voices matters everything. And this leads us to the next truth. Every fortune begins when men and women blend their minds around a single burning desire. Desire is the fuel of all achievement, but desire alone in one heart is not enough to move mountains. When desire is shared, when it is blended among many, when it becomes the collective heartbeat of a group, it transforms into a force of nature. One person's desire can light a spark, but many joined in the same desire create a fire so great it cannot be extinguished. This is how fortunes are born. Not merely financial fortunes, but fortunes of success, influence, legacy, and impact. They begin when minds connect not casually, not weakly, but with a burning intensity of shared purpose. Every revolution, every breakthrough, every movement that altered the course of history was fueled by this principle. A group of people bound together by a common desire, willing to give their thoughts, their energy, their time, and even their lives for a vision greater than themselves. The power of their unity, fused with the fire of their desire, reshaped the world. This is why blending minds is not optional, it is essential. Alone, desire can fade. Alone, passion can wither in the face of obstacles. But when desire is shared, when it is carried by many hearts at once, it becomes enduring. If one falters, another carries the flame. If one grows weary, another lifts them up. The fire continues because it does not live in one, it lives in all. And yet, blending minds requires more than agreement. It requires surrender of ego. It requires individuals to set aside selfish motives, to join in humility, to recognize that the power of the group is greater than the glory of the individual. When each person brings their best, not for their own recognition, but for the fulfillment of the shared desire, the result is extraordinary. Every fortune begins here, with people uniting their thoughts, their strength, and their passion around a single burning desire. And from that unity, wealth is created, movements are born, legacies are established. The world changes not because of isolated wishes, but because of blended willpower. So remember, the mastermind is not about numbers, it is about unity. And unity is born when minds blend around a burning desire that consumes every doubt, every hesitation, and every fear. When that desire is shared, it becomes destiny. The journey of achievement is often pictured as a solitary climb, a lone figure battling the storms of life and clawing their way to the top of the mountain. Yet the truth is far different. No mind has ever risen to greatness alone. No vision has ever transformed into reality without others. The highest peaks of success have always been conquered by those who understood the timeless power of joining minds in harmony, blending strength, and aligning purpose. This is the essence of the mastermind principle, the greatest secret to turning dreams into destiny. At its heart, this principle reveals a paradox. True power does not belong to isolation, but to connection. The lone dreamer may see the mountain, but it is the council of visionaries who build the path and climb it together. The solitary thinker may hold a spark of an idea, but it is only when that spark meets another that the flame of genius is born. The circle you choose becomes the soil in which your ambitions either wither or grow. Weak soil produces weak harvest. Fertile soil produces abundance beyond imagination. The most important choice you will ever make on the path to success is not merely what you pursue, but with whom you pursue it. Your circle determines your ceiling. If you walk among those who fear risk, who mock ambition, who resist change, then you will unconsciously accept their limits as your own. But if you walk with believers, with builders, with minds that burn with desire as fiercely as yours, then your ceiling disappears and your potential stretches into infinity. Unity is the key. Numbers alone are meaningless if they are divided. 1,000 voices in conflict produce noise, but a handful in harmony create music powerful enough to move the world. The true force of the mastermind is born not from quantity, but from quality. Quality of vision, quality of belief, quality of unity. Even two like-minded minds fused together in common desire generate a third invisible force, greater than the sum of their parts. This force, though unseen, is the very energy that has shaped civilizations, driven revolutions, and created fortunes. And here lies the greatest secret. Every fortune, every empire, every lasting legacy begins when men and women blend their minds around a single burning desire. One person's desire may ignite a flame, but when that fire is carried by many, it becomes unstoppable. Shared desire transforms struggle into momentum, failure into persistence, and obstacles into stepping stones. What one cannot carry, the group carries together. Where one falters, another continues. In this way, the dream endures beyond the weakness of the individual and grows into the strength of the collective. This principle is not bound by time or circumstance. It has been true in every era and will remain true in every future. It explains why some rise while others remain stagnant. It reveals why some dreams die quietly while others roar into history. It is not talent alone, not knowledge alone, not even effort alone that creates greatness. It is the ability to gather, to align, to harmonize with others in pursuit of something greater than oneself. But such unity does not come by chance. It must be created with intention. It requires humility to set aside ego, courage to trust others with your vision, and wisdom to choose companions whose purpose aligns with your own. Harmony cannot exist where jealousy festers, where distrust spreads, or where selfish ambition divides. The mastermind thrives only where there is respect, belief, and an unwavering commitment to the shared goal. Without harmony, there is no force. With harmony, there is no limit. So the call is clear. Build your circle with care. Seek out those who inspire you to rise higher, who believe in your vision. Not out of flattery, but out of conviction, who bring not only their strengths, but also their loyalty and unity. Protect this circle fiercely, for it is the engine of your future,